I've been a Plex user for many years. I love the program. It does so many things. It's one of my favorite programs ever. I love the way that it can be used to watch movies and TV shows and slideshows of pictures, music, everything. So I really love it. Recently I've discovered collections, and to me they're a much better way to group movies than playlists are. Playlists do some things better, but by and large collections are to me something that's much more useful. So as I was creating all of my collections, I realized that I was having some issues that I had to research online how to fix, how to do certain things, and decided to make a video to put everything together that I learned to maybe help you create collections easier. First thing I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about the differences between playlists and collections, and I'm going to explain why I decided to go with collections instead of playlists. I will go through the reason why I kept one specific playlist as a playlist and explain why. I'll also take you through the process of creating a collection step by step, and I'm going to explain each step as I go so you'll understand what each option is, what it means to the final collection, what decisions you're going to make as you create it, and what else you'll need to have available to make a nice looking collection. After I go through all that step by step, I'll do it again and to show you a quicker way, and I'll get you to the point where you can pretty much make most of your collections quickly in just one move, which combines all the steps together. It's fairly easy and quick. And then finally, I'm going to go through and tell you how I was able to create a collection from a playlist. Currently, there's no way to convert a playlist into a collection in Plex, at least not yet. Hopefully they'll have that someday. But I did discover a method that makes it almost as easy. So I'll show you that.
So right now I have my phone set up to record my television. I don't know a way to screen capture the television exactly. So I'm going to do it this way, and then I'll get back to doing everything else on the computer. But I did want to show you the playlists and the collections and the differences between the two and what I like and don't like. At the top of the screen you see recommended, you see library, collections, which we'll come back to, and playlists. So I'm going to select playlist, and there are two playlists currently, a Marvel Universe and a Star Wars. The Marvel Universe right now has 21 movies in it. So to right side and then select a movie by going down the list. You can see each click is one movie, and with 21 movies, it's going to take a minute to get down to the bottom if that's where your movie that you want to watch is. I had a playlist that was for kids that had like 130 movies in it, and getting to the bottom of that took a while. You can click fast, but still, I think you get the point. The movie posters are small on the screen. You can't really see them. The one thing that playlists does do better than a collection is let you put them in any order you want to. So this particular playlist is going to stay because I can move these movies into the chronological order of the storyline. So you can see the first movie came out in 2011 before the second movie came out in 2008. I just prefer to have it this way for this particular set of movies. The Star Wars movies, similar thing. The episode 1, 2, and 3 came out later than the others, but this is a different situation. And so when I get back to the computer, I'll go over both of these and explain why this is not going to stay a playlist. This is a collection now. So I'm going to back out and go up to the top again and move over to collections. And you can see here each collection has its own poster. I'll show you where to get those. They each say whatever the name of the movies are, and then so this is Alien collection, Back to the Future collection, and so on. So over here is the Marvel Cinematic Universe collection. And again, I can go into this one and you can see the difference. All the movie posters are much bigger. If you want to scan down this, you're doing it 6 movies at a time. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go over to my kids movies collection. And you can see once again, the posters are bigger. There's 130 movies in this collection. And so you can flip through them pretty quickly If you're looking for a specific movie that's near the end of the alphabet, your kids can see the pictures better and tell you what they want if they're not the ones selecting. So these are collections. I like them a lot better than playlists, again, for most reasons. So now let's go back over to the laptop and I'll show you how to create them. So now I'm back on my laptop and I'm in the library showing all of my movies. And what I want to do is to create a Lego collection. So I've got 5 Lego movies, a Batman, a documentary, and these 3 over here. I'm going to add them to a Lego collection. So my first thing to do to create the collection is to click on the little pencil icon in the bottom left-hand corner of one of them. It doesn't matter which movie. Then I'm going to go over to tags. And this is filled with metadata from automatic import. And the collections tags down here are what we're interested in. So you can see it's already in the kids collection. And in fact, when I click in this field, if I scroll down, I can see the existing collections in case I want to add it to another one. But for this one, I want to start typing Lego. And you can see here it says add Lego. So I'll click on that, and now it's in the collections. So now when I save changes, it's going to add that collection to the list. And you'll see it pop up. So it's over here. The icon is the same as the movie, and it says one movie in that collection. And that's how you create a collection. Now I'm going to show you how to add more movies and change the poster. So this is about as easy as it gets. Now that the collection is made, you just need to add movies to it. So we'll go to the first one, and same process. Click on the pencil, go to tags, start typing the name of the collection, which is Lego. You can see it's on the list here, and it's added. Save changes. And now the collection has 2 movies. So I've got 2 out of 5 added. You can see that the poster for that collection changes. So I'm going to add a 3rd one, which is going to be this Lego Brickumentary. Go to tags. I don't have to type the entire thing. To get me to that tag that's created. Save changes. Now there are 3 movies. Continuing on with the Lego Movie 2. Save changes. And now the last one. So I have all 5 movies in the collection. I can click on it. There they are. But I don't like this cover or this poster. So now I need to add a poster. The way that I do this is I go to the poster database. There are many, many other sources of these kinds of things. This is just the one that I like the best. But I have gotten posters from other sources, or you can create your own. There's nothing that says you have to find them elsewhere. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to do a search. Click on the little magnifying glass. I'm going to type in Lego. And you can see the search results are several collections. There's other movies for posters if you want to change the poster for a single movie, but for the collections, you can see that there's specific collections, and here's one for the general Lego movie collection. I'm going to click on that, and then for this search result, there's less than 1 page of posters. Sometimes you'll find 2 or 3 pages worth of posters. So this is a great source. The one I like best, I've already looked through these, is this red one here that just says Lego. Normally I like to have a poster that actually says something something collection. I just like the way this one looks best. So I'm going to download it. Right click, save as. It's going to save it to my downloads. One thing about this, I believe you do have to have a account, and I am signed in to this database, so you may need to create an account. It's free and it's easy. So then back to Plex. So now I'm going to edit the poster the same way to begin with. Click on the pencil. This time I'm going to go to poster, just like you would for a movie. I'm going to choose an image. I'm going to find that Lego movie collection. And now save changes. And you can see that poster has been updated. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is to remove it from the library, because I don't want the collections showing up on this list in the library. I only want them to show up in collections. So I'm going to go back once again. This time I'm going to click Advanced, and there's two things in here you can change. One of them is the collection mode. So there's different options in here. I'm going to select Hide Collection, and this is going to hide it from the library, not from Plex overall. We'll talk about the collection order in a moment. So save the changes, and it goes away. So it's no longer visible here in the library, but if I go to Collections, there it is. It's got 5 movies. I can enter into it and see all the movies. Done. So now that I have shown you how to go through and create a collection step by step, I'm going to show you how to do them all at once. And so when you start making your collections, this is probably how you'll do it. So it starts off the same way, with the exception of I've already saved the movie poster. I'm going to create a collection of Rocky movies. So there are 6 Rocky movies here in this library, and there are also 2 Creed movies that I want to have in the same collection. So what I'm going to do, instead of going through and beginning to edit, first I'm going to select all the movies. So in the top left hand corner is a little dot. You just click on it and it selects the movie. You can see here at the top I've got 6 items selected, and I'm also going to go up and select the Creed movies. Like this. And so now they're all selected. I've got 8 items selected. But at this point, if you go and try to click on the pencil, you'll see it's no longer there. And this is because when you select more than one movie, the edit pencil is up here at the top. So I'm going to select the edit. Now I can add a tag. Go to collections and type in Rocky. I'm going to add Rocky to the list. So I'm going to save the changes. Deselect all. And now this has been created, and it's under R for Rocky. At this point, I'm going to edit the poster. Choose an image, Rocky Collection. I'm not going to save changes yet. I'm going to go to Advanced and Hide Collection. Save the changes. Now that collection goes away from the library. I'm going to check the collection. And there it is. Got all 8 movies in it. So that took a lot less time than doing each step one by one. It was essentially 2 steps. One, I had to create the collection and then edit the collection itself. But you can see how quick that was. So now I'm going to show you how to create a collection from a playlist. But first I want to point out the difference in the way that playlists and collections keep up with movie orders and the options you have. So I did mention before that the Marvel Universe playlist is going to remain because you can rearrange the order of the movies any order that you want. It doesn't have to be alphabetical or by year of release. So if for some reason this movie needed to be moved down, you just grab the little 3 lines and you move it down in that order and you're done. So that's quick and easy to do, and you can put them in any order whatsoever. With something like Star Wars, you could do the same thing. These prequels came out later than the originals, but in the order of the playlist, they would come first. The difference in these two is that these are all Star Wars movies and they all appear in the same place in my library. Whereas the movies in the Marvel Universe, the way they're named, they're spread out all over the library. So let me go to the library and show you the Star Wars movies. And I want to show you something that you can do to make sure they're in the order that you want here in your library. So if you go into Edit, you can see there's a title and a sort title. What I've done with the Star Wars movies is to change the sort title to Star Wars and then a number. And so the first one in the chronological order is 01. I'm just going to show a few more. So this one would be 02 and so on. Episode 3 is 03, but the Solo movie comes as Star Wars 3A. It's in between 3 and 4, and then Rogue One is 3B. So you can put things in that field to make these movies show up in the order that you want here in the library. This is why I don't feel the need to keep a playlist for these movies. Now, if I did that for the Marvel movies, they would all be together here in my library, and they might be harder to find. So if I go back to playlist and just look at the movie titles, I might be searching for Iron Man movies within the library, and they would be in a different place than if I was searching for a Captain America movie or Thor movies. You can see these would be spread out. If I changed the sort order and had them all together in the library, they'd be harder to find. So that's the main difference between these movies and the Star Wars or other collections. So this Star Wars has been changed to a collection, and I'm going to delete this playlist. So I'm just going to click these 3 dots and delete, and I no longer need it. But I'm going to keep the Marvel playlist. Now it's also a collection. I did make a Marvel collection, but again, that's just to group those movies together for whatever reason. I have a Marvel Cinematic Universe. But let's just say that I want to take this long playlist and create a collection with it. There's a couple ways to do this. The long, difficult way would be to go into the first movie, edit, add a tag, which I've done here. Then when I save that changes, it would create then I have to go back to the playlist, click on the second movie, edit it, put in a tag, back to the playlist, and you can see this would take a long time. There's no way that once I select multiple movies, if I could select them all, there's no way for me to edit this anymore. I can't go up here, there's no pencil, I can't get to all of the items together to edit them from the playlist. I wish there were, it would make things a lot easier. But there is a similar way to do this, and all it involves is a filter. So I'm going to look through this list, and if you have a long list of kids movies or something else, you may want to take a few notes to remember, but let's just say I've written down keywords that could identify all of these movies. So I'm going to go over to my library. up here at the top where it says all movies by title and so on, this is the filter. So instead of showing all movies, I want to scroll down to the bottom, make a custom filter. So the title contains, and I could change this to some other filter other than title, but for what we're doing, you can put in multiple keywords. So I'm going to put in Avengers. I'm going to put in Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Ant-Man, for the Captain Marvel movie, and I did not write down a list, but this is just an example. So I can put in as many of these as I need to capture the entire list or most of the list, and then you hit apply. And now your library is only going to show you movies that meet this filter. And I can add some more here if I think of one that's not there. And at this point, I can select all of them. Select them all, and then up here is the edit. And it's the same thing as we did with the Rocky movies. Once you've got multiple movies selected, go through to tags, create a collection, save the changes, and then that collection gets created with only the movies you've selected. So it's not creating the collection directly from the playlist, but it is the easiest method. Maybe someday Plex will update the playlist to have an edit icon, edit feature from that, in which case it'll be easier. But for now, this is the quickest way I've found. So that is how you create a collection of movies that's in a very long playlist. When you're finished, you can deselect all. You can clear this filter. And now you're back to your library. So the last thing I want to show you is the difference in sort order in a collection. So for example, the Star Wars sort order, I'm going to have in alphabetical so that it comes into the order that I showed earlier with all the Star Wars movies being Star Wars 01, 02, and so on. So this sort order uses the same sort order as in the library. So again, Episode 3 uses the sort title Star Wars 03, Solo, Star Wars 3A, and so on. So that's the sort alphabetical. Whereas something like Star Trek, the collection order is by release date. And all of these movies are going to be in the correct order just because of the year they were released. Those are your only two choices with the collections. Pretty much they do everything I need them to do in a collection, and I've shown you the one exception that I have in the playlist with the Marvel movies being in a completely different order. So I hope this helped you create collections. I hope it helped understand what they are, the easier ways to go about creating them, editing them. I had a lot of fun creating these myself, looking for posters to use. It's just great. Enjoy your Plex.